Okay, today's lesson is on consumer credit. So we're starting, for those of you who are watching it on the e-learning day, this is the intro lesson to the next unit. Because e-learning fell on a test day, we're going to go ahead and talk about consumer credit, whereas the other class will actually take their tests and then you'll sort of switch. So basically you're learning the next unit stuff. So none of this will actually be on today's test. It's for the next unit. So for the next unit, we start out with doing credit and loans and stuff like that. And what does that mean? So basically, when you go to purchase things, there's two ways that you can purchase things. You could purchase things with cash, or you can purchase things, or not cash, but there's debit too, debit and cash, same thing, it's your money. And then there's credit. You can run it on a credit card. So that is the term buy now and pay now, or buy now and pay later. When you buy now and pay later, that's called credit. Financial institutions will give you money that you don't necessarily have. Now, you may not know this, but credit happens all the time. When you use a cell phone or electricity or cable, all that stuff is you use the services and then you actually pay for them later. Well, credit, in terms of the most common type of credit, is like a credit card. Credit cards will allow you to make purchases for items and get them right now, but not have to pay for them till later. So there are benefits to using credit. By using credit, you can increase your credit score, and credit scores allow you to build trustworthiness, which allows banks to give you more money. So there are benefits to using credit. It can again build credit score. Okay. And can have things right away. Okay. Some of the drawbacks, and we'll go into more of the benefits later, but some of the drawbacks are going to be you have to be smart with credit and with loans and credit cards and stuff, because you can certainly take out a loan or take out credit to purchase things that you don't have money for, but you have to be smart about that. You don't pay it back, you can go into debt. Or have financial troubles. It's all about being responsible. So, and that's the big key there. So you have building a credit score and having things right away. Drawbacks to using credit are the possibility of going into debt and having financial struggles. And those, remember, I said before, the number one cause for divorce is financial trouble, problem with your finances. So if you're not smart with using credit, that can cause some serious problems in your life. Now, every time you use credit and pay it back properly, you get points towards a score. That score is called a FICO score. And the FICO stands for, I can't remember, it's some abbreviation for something, but your FICO score ranges from 300 to 850. So all of you probably have a score probably in the low 300s. Now, if you use credit improperly, like not making payments on time or maybe not even at all, you lose points. You gain points by making your payments on your credit on time. So credit cards, loans, car loans, home loans, any of that stuff, that whenever you make payments on time, your score goes up. And when your score goes up, that means that you're more trustworthy in terms of your finances, and so banks are likely to be more likely to give you loans, and not only that, give you loans for more money and oftentimes at lower interest rates. So you need at least a 600 to get decent interest rates for a loan, and some scores, if they're too low, might actually prohibit you from getting loans in the first place. Your score will dictate often dictates the interest you'll pay when using credit. So whatever interest rate, like 2%, 3%, 4%, 5%, whatever, is often dictated based on your credit score, how trustworthy you are. Okay, so today we're going to look at credit, just the basics of credit, and what is called finance charges. When you use credit, that's called financing. What that means is the store gives you an item and you have signed an agreement with that store that you're going to pay it back. Now the store doesn't just give you the item and say, hey, it's $100, so just pay me $100 over time. That's not how it works. If they're going to give you the item without you actually paying for it, they want interest, and that's what's called finance charges. So what is the store or whatever going to charge you for taking the item now as opposed to later? Now, just so you can see this, we have two examples here that work together. Example one, Heather here, she's going to wait. What if she doesn't want to use a credit card? Or maybe she doesn't have any credit. What if she doesn't have a credit card? Back in the day when we didn't have credit, before the 1920s, I believe, there was no credit. If you didn't have money, you didn't get what you were wanting to get. So here, Heather, let's say she doesn't want to use credit or doesn't have any credit. She wants to purchase the guitar. The guitar is $2,240. She would, back in the day, or now if she doesn't have any credit, would have to actually save the money and then wait until she got the money, and then she could go get the guitar. So if she can save $90 per month, how long will it take her to save up for the guitar? Well, if the guitar costs $2,240, and she can save $90 per month, we can actually just divide this by 90 and see that it's going to take her 24 point, it looks like 24, probably 25 months if we round up. So, that's over 2 years. So if you don't have credit, and one of the benefits of credit is that you go and you get the item right now, even though you didn't even actually pay for it. So if you actually wanted to pay for it, she would have had to, if saving $90 a month, would have to wait for over 2 years to save up enough money to buy this guitar. Now the second example is now she's got a credit card. So she talks to the salesperson at the music store, and they suggest that you should buy the guitar in some sort of installment plan or on credit. Now they require 15% down, and then the remainder has an additional finance charge. This is paid back on a monthly basis for the next 2 years. The monthly payment would be $88.75. So we figure out, she's got to put 15% down. So 15% of the purchase price is $22.40 times 15%, or 0.15. So we take $22.40 and multiply it by 0.15, we get $336. So the rest is going to be on an installment plan that is $88 per month. So let's see if I can highlight it. Is $88 per month, $88.75 per month for the next 2 years. Well, how many months are in 2 years? It should be 24 months. So basically, she's going to make the payment of, and I'll change colors here, of $88.75 times 12, or not times 12, that's 2 years is 24 times 24. So 88.75 times 24 is 2130. So we have, in order to figure out what the finance charge is and how much she's going to pay in interest, we actually have to add these up. Because she paid $336 down plus the $88.75 for 2 years, which is $21.30, we get a total amount of $24.66. Now, if you remember, the cost of the guitar in the first place was $22.40. She paid $24.66. She paid more for the guitar than the actual cost of the guitar. That is called a finance charge. Of course she's going to pay more because the store allowed her to buy the guitar and have the guitar that day without actually paying for it. That's why there's a finance charge. So what we do is we just subtract the $22.40 and we can figure out the finance charge. And that's $226. So basically, the music store is charging her $226 to have the guitar that day, as opposed to waiting 2 years to save up for it. And that's finance charges. So there's a couple other examples here that we can look at. I'll just do a couple here, and so you can do the practice here. So here is Carpet King, and they're trying to increase sales, and it's got a new promotion. All purchases can be paid on an installment plan with no interest, as long as the total is paid in full within 6 months. Now, this is very common to try to get people to buy things. They're basically saying, you can have this item today without actually paying for it, as long as it's paid off within 6 months. There's a minimum. There is a $20 minimum monthly payment required. So if Schuster family buys carpeting for $2,134 and only makes the minimum payment for 5 months, how much would they have to pay in the 6th month to avoid paying any interest? So basically, they have the carpet here for $2,134. Now they're going to make $20 minimum monthly payment each month. So I'll just sort of separate this. So 20, 20, 20, 20, 20. That's 5 months, and that all adds up to be $100. 20 times 5 is $100. So after 5 months, they've only made payments of $100, which leaves $2,034. So what that means, if they do not want to pay interest, they would have to pay this much, okay, on that last month, in the 6th month, to avoid paying interest. Because the deal was, as long as they paid off the entire balance within 6 months, they would not pay any interest. And so if they're only making the minimum monthly payment for the first 5 months, that leaves a lot left over. Okay. Last question here. Mike has a credit rating of 720. Tyler has a credit rating of 560. Mike and Tyler apply for identical loans from Park Bank. Now, because Mike has a higher credit score, he is charged with an interest rate of 5.2%, whereas Tyler, having a lower credit score, is approved for a loan that's actually 3 percentage points higher than that. What interest rate is Tyler charged at? So you see here we have Mike having the higher credit score is going to have the lower interest rate. And this is real life. This is how it really happens. Tyler, having a much lower credit score, this is not a good credit score, actually goes at 3 percentage points higher than that. So this is a real simple question. 5.2%. And then it's just asking for what is Tyler's interest rate. Well, you just add 3 percentage points. So that's 8.2%. So Tyler would have an 8.2% interest rate as opposed to a 5.2 interest rate, just because he has a lower credit score. And that's what happens in real life. So that's it. Just a basic introduction to credit, finance charges. The practice is there with answer keys. Please make sure that you try some of the problems and bring any questions you have on the next time we meet. So, thanks.